Solid Roc Entertainment. Solid as a rock, they just can't stop you now. Samuel Gardner. I beg them no pardon.
A message of love again.
Give it up for Kelissa. Random.
Orlando, on free. We're gonna share this song with you, that's alright?
Greetings, Solid Roc family. You're now tuning into Solid Roc Entertainment with your host on the Central Coast, Samuel Gardner. Today we have a special guest, and that is Miss Kelissa. But as I'd like to say, all of our guests are special, including yourself, ma'am. Yes, as you know, Kelissa, she has her new album. It's called Spellbound. And we're going to talk a little bit about Spellbound tonight. And Kelissa, what you really want to achieve with this album, Spellbound?
It's really just another milestone on the musical journey, you know. It is a co-production between my own label, Ambessa Music, and Natural High Music.
Right.
And it's really just a compilation of songs that we worked on together to kind of express my musical interpretation and my musical expressions.
Right.
At this point in time. So, you know, we plan to work on future projects. So this is just kind of a collective for now, you know?
Seeing. Now, as an artist, as yourself, how important do you think it is for one artist to songwrite or know how to songwrite properly?
I really think that song choice is more important than the skill of songwriting. I don't believe that every artist needs to have the skill of songwriting. Songwriting happens to be one of my favorite things to do, you know, even more so than other elements of being an artist, you know, but I don't think it is necessary, but I think song choice is very important. You know, this is where I think team is very important, where, you know, you have a great songwriter on a team so that you as an artist can perform to your maximum. Yeah.
Okay. And as far as touring, what's next for what are you gonna do in order for the album as far as touring? I know we're in Orlando, Florida right now, but what's next?
Well, right now we've been on tour with Chronixx, Janine, and Jesse Royal for the Chronology tour. We'll have a few more dates in which I will open in about the last 2 weeks of the tour. Separate and apart from that, we also plan to touch base in New York to do some acoustic shows during the summer, and we're also doing Europe during August time. We plan to do the festival run. So that's what we have kind of lined up as of now, you know?
Okay. Now we'll talk about the songwriting, we'll talk about the album. But for those who might not know, what other talents you might have within the music as far as instruments? Is there any instruments you can play?
I play guitar. I'm not the best guitarist, but I can accompany myself as a singer. So when I have acoustic performances, you know, I'm able to play the guitar. I'm also a drummer. I play percussion drum.
That I didn't know. That I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right.
So not something that I've done so much on stage, but it's something that I really enjoy as an artistic fulfillment, you know, for me, myself. Yeah. And of course, my voice, my first instrument.
Right, and we don't want to keep her out in the cold because she might lose it, so we don't want that. We don't want to disappoint Chronixx.
No.
So when I look at the artwork of your album, excuse me if I may say, but I was thinking of like Little Mermaid or something like that. What influenced the art direction of that album?
I actually worked with one of Jamaica's most renowned visual artists, Nakate Hutchinson.
Okay.
She's also a sculptor. You know, it was a process. I worked with her knowing that I wanted a very strong image on the front, a strong image of a woman. You know, I think in this time, the woman's imagery is very important. Especially the interpretation that is being given by a particular visual component.
Right.
I just thought it was a great opportunity to work with an artist who would be able to do that. The whole process was very interesting. And she kind of took over on that part. You know, at first it was something that felt a little bit uncomfortable about, but I am also open now to the idea of it being very goddess-like.
Yeah,
you know,
I got that.
I like how you said a mermaid. I like that. First I heard that interpretation.
Yeah, man.
You know, but it was a great opportunity to be able to work directly with a visual artist, where she was able to listen to the sounds within the project and kind of give it a visual interpretation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, I have two last questions I'm going to ask you, and that the first of the two is, in such a male-dominant industry, how do you, as a female artist, do you feel it's very competitive? It's hard to strive. How do you think? How you gear yourself towards it?
To be honest, I actually don't see it as a male-dominated industry. Looking at it from a broader scope and from a wider angle, it's really women who run the music industry. At the top of the game, I believe, is a woman who really, you know, kind of reach to the heights and to the maximum and sell a lot of the most records. You know, within our niche, where you want to say reggae, yeah, it is in essence male dominated, but I really do think that that's part of my role as a woman, to kind of pave the way for myself and for other women who want to kind of you know, walk a similar path.
Right.
You know, and the beautiful thing is, with my music that I do, it is not strictly reggae. I don't really restrict it to one genre, you know, so I do believe it has the potential of crossing over, you know, separate and apart from this niche market that we're in. So, you know, I don't really let that hinder me, you know. In fact, I use that as a motivation. You know, to know, say, I have work to do.
True. No, it's kind of funny you said that, because as far as you say you don't stick to one genre, because while I was listening to your album, the first track came on and I found myself skanking, right? But then as it went on, I'm like, okay, easy with the skanking. What's going on? What?
Kind of a hip-hop vibes, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So the last question now, we're going to stray away a little bit from music and just talk about the current situation of the world. And how important, as you as a woman, have like a messenger, you have a message in your music. How important, what do you think people need right now in this, you know, the tragedy happening worldwide, you know, all these things that people are kind of tense, and as you feel there's a tension in the world, what do you think can settle and ease the mind of people?
Boy, to be honest, I do think that there's balance every time. You know, in every situation there's balance. You know, so as much as we are made to believe and made to perceive that there's chaos and this world is chaotic, you know, and there's a lot of confusion and destruction, there's also a lot of beautiful things happening in the world.
Yes.
There are also a lot of beautiful places, beautiful people, and very constructive and evolutionary and revolutionary things happening, you know?
Right.
So I think that we as people, as humans, will kind of have a tendency to focus on the negative, you know? And because of that, it kind of convolutes everything else that's going on and all the other great things that are happening in the world, you know? And in contrast, for the things that are you know, quote-unquote bad, you know, and negative, I believe that there's something good that comes out of every single one of those situations.
True.
You know, so we just try to stay on the brighter side of things, you know.
All right.
Yeah, we are human. Things may bog down, but we just have to keep
pushing.
Up, you know? Yes,
and keep everything positive.
Keep it upward as much as possible.
Well, Kelissa, it was an honor having you on the show, and I wish you the best on your performance tonight. I'll be out there watching, and I'm sure you will. I see you on YouTube and all these other things, and you do your thing. All right, up on sound system. So, enough respect here. All right, love, respect. All right, Solid Roc, that was Kelissa, and like I said, go out and support her album Spellbound. It's a treat, it's different, and it's something to hear. All right, so stay tuned, and we have more coming. Keep everything solid. Solid Roc.